track review.
Hi everyone, Anthony Fantano here, the internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for a track review, where we talk about the latest in rock, pop, electronic, experimental music, yada yada yada. And this is a review for the Baauer track, Harlem Shake. Baauer is a New York electronic music producer, and this track of his has been taking the internet by storm. But not by itself, of course. I mean, this track was actually dropped through the label Mad Decent last year, spring of last year. And the track slipped by even me, because when I first heard of this guy, it was through the collaboration he did with Just Blaze recently on the track Higher, which is an amazing freaking banger, which a few videos ago I told you guys, I said I feel like is banger of the year potential. But of course I got that completely and utterly wrong, because Higher is not the banger of the year at all. Harlem Shake is the banger of the year, except it came from last year, making it the banger of last year this year. We live in a very interesting time for music, and this track is proof of it, that you can release a song almost a year ago, and then all of a sudden, through no control of your own, it just all of a sudden blows up overnight because there's some guy dancing to it with a group of friends in weird costumes in a video, which in turn causes a group of people in a dorm room to dance to it, or a group of people in an office, or a men's swimming team, or the military. The joke that people have attached to this song seems to have kind of transcended numerous walks of life in the internet generation, but I feel like part of the reason that this joke has sort of become so universal, is understood so universally, is because the song, the way it works and the way it appeals, is so universal. Because Harlem Shake is an electronic banger with bass heavy beats that hit hard in the ass. Now, of course, bangers come in different shapes and sizes and flavors, and are produced by a variety of different artists. Some producers that are kind of hot for making really great bangers, Arab Music, Tonight, or like that really awesome Flostradamus remix of the original Dawn track from Major Lazer. And all of these artists specifically take a lot of direction from trap rap, the instrumentals from that southern bred style of hip-hop that is essentially an ode to America's drug dealers, a style of music that's currently forefronted by artists like Gucci Mane as well as Flocka Flame. Of course, this style of hip-hop predates these two artists, but these two artists are two of the larger names in this newer breed of southern trap style hip-hop that has these heavy bass hits, these just skittering snare drums, rattling hi-hats, and all of these sounds and ideas are featured in Baauer's Harlem Shake, but they're all twisted and revamped and recontextualized until these sounds serve a completely different purpose. Because the track we're talking about here isn't exactly the dark, gritty, southern fried soundtrack to selling crack outside of a dilapidated house. Instead, it's an all-out dance party where your energy matters way more than your moves. So Baauer just does a great job of just taking these pre-existing musical ideas and transforming them into something else. To me, that is what art is all about to an extent, but the internet has brought us into this age where that is kind of being hyper accelerated. The way that we are able to take ideas from one musical culture and pepper them throughout pretty much every single other musical culture. In 2010, Flocka Flame drops his breakout album Flockavelli, which features track for track all of these trap-style southern hip-hop beats produced by Lex Luger. From there, it kind of spreads into every other facet of hip-hop culture, with numerous MCs hopping on beats that have these skittering hi-hats, other producers kind of taking on some of these ideas, these busier snare drums, these heavier bass hits, again, this hi-hat style into their production, kind of adopting these sounds. And even electronic music artists are starting to copycat some of the things they're hearing in these beats, and DJs are playing these kinds of songs out too. And here on this track, we're hearing these trap style rhythms fused together with these wonky synthesizer grooves, as well as a dubstep style build and drop. And with these slight alterations that Baauer has made to these ideas, he's turned this musical style into something that is just again, so catchy and so instantly enjoyable, you don't even really need to explain what makes it so goddamn enjoyable. Everything in this track is just engaging and blood pumping, from the attention-grabbing vocal cut right at the start in Spanish that sounds like it's being screamed through a megaphone, the rising hand claps and synthesizers that just make things feel more tense. Behind it, there's all these synthesizers making a ruckus that kind of sound like a spaceship is getting ready to take off in a Sega Genesis game. And Baauer just quickly delivers the drop and just cuts the listener's head off with force in this perfectly resonating punch of bass and synthesizers. The snare drums and the hi-hats are clickety-clackety. They're like the tiny little gears twittering along as they push and just sort of huff and puff and move the machinery that dishes out these heavy pummeling bass hits that cause your hips to shake so hard they fly out of your body. Baauer seems to kind of progress the track through different grooves, ideas, takes on the same theme that the song started off with, which is really all I can ask for, because the first idea that the song presents is a really great freaking idea, and to hear a few more versions of it as it continues along is, just pretty much more icing on the cake. The song's not too busy, it's not too flowery, it's just strictly business. Hip shaking, just business. And honestly, that's what I freaking love about it. I love this track. Trap bangers for all. That's all I gotta say. If you've given this track a listen, I'm sure you have, what do you think of it? Is it the perfect drop? And, what do you think of this electronic dance trap fusion that we've been seeing recently across the internet? That's about it. Baauer, Harlem Shake, forever.